Aloha, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on my podcast today. I am again honored to have a buddy of mine on with me. I have met Bill Scalzitti, and I'm sorry I screwed up your last name, I think, all the way from the East Coast joining me today. Bill is I think he said he's a romance coach. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself so I don't mess it up for the both of us, mostly him. So, Bill, share where you're living, if you want to, what city, what state, and what brought you into the I think it's romance or whatever type of coaching you do. Floor is yours, my dear.
Okay, hi, I'm Bill Scalzitti. I live in New Jersey, and I got into romance coaching because I had gotten married at a very young age. And when the marriage failed, I said to myself, how does something that starts out so joyously crash and burn in a rubble of heartbreak and disaster? And I was living in New York City, and I had access to lots of single people, and it really started as a hobby. I started asking single people about relationships and dating. And after talking to many, many people, it became evident that single people basically have no clue what they're looking for when it comes to finding a relationship. And that's probably because we were never taught anything about relationships growing up. Everything that's in our head was put there by friends, family, relatives, television, magazines, movies, everything you hear on the street. Men do this, women do this, men are this, women are this, and all that stuff. And we become teenagers and we start dating and we go from one to another to another to another till we find somebody that's not as bad as everybody else, and that's the person we marry. And then one out of every two marriages fails, and that's not a good percentage, and it's even higher for second and third marriages. So there's something wrong with the entire system. And that's what led me to create my Romance by Choice. And after probably working on it for almost 20 years, I put it into an audiobook back in 2000. And to make it something that is exciting and not boring to listen to just somebody talking all the time, I added music, and I developed 6 musical albums that accompany the audiobook.
Wow.
And I have music throughout the book. And the audiobook with the 6 albums makes it very unique. And I work with people that are single, men and women from the ages of 26 up to 70 plus years of age, whether they've never been married, divorced, widow, or widower. So that's the Romance by Choice program. And the methodology is all about single people learning who they are. And more importantly, learning to love and respect themselves, knowing who they are, knowing how they choose to live the rest of their life, and who do they choose to live it with. And then we work with building that type of person using tools like feng shui, conscious language, science of deliberate creation, conscious language, positive attitude, other tools to help them keep their mind in the proper space to succeed in the singles world. And that's where the music comes in. There's an album just to prepare you to be in a relationship. Then there's an album to keep your attitude proper so that you don't slip back into the negative world of most singles. And then there are 2 albums for a man to give a woman and 2 albums for a woman to give a man. And these are all to create the emotion that's needed.
So I'm going to interrupt you right here. So you're a great discovery course content creator, right? And you've got a free course up on the Great Discovery, which is kind of the genre for my podcast. Are all of these on the platform for free or just part of it? You want to tell us what's available for free on the Great Discovery for you?
Okay, well, there are 2 things on the Great Discovery. There's the course, audiobook and course that I just talked about, and it's a paid for program. There is also a free eBook with certain relationship tips, things that you should know about relationships. So you can download the free eBook.
Okay. And that in that book, what are you hoping to accomplish for the reader to learn by the end of that book?
I mean, the ebook?
Yes.
The ebook is just to give you some ideas about different ways to approach things in relationships.
You also mentioned something about conscious speaking, because I think that's kind of one of the key things in a relationship is us being conscious about what we talk about. Do you have
Well, conscious language is a methodology, it's a program that basically talks about how the words we use sabotage the things we are trying to accomplish. So it's just about language. For example, one of the most used words, and words that in many cases, depending upon how they're used, sabotage us, is the word want.
Mm-hmm.
We all want love,
Mm-hmm.
but want is desire without having. If we choose love, then we have made a conscious choice to have love, and we can have it.
So are you kind of saying right here, if I say I want love, that means I don't have it, so it's harder to come. But if I turn around and say I choose to be loved by ABCD, I don't know a name.
To be a name, I just choose to be loved, choose
Oh.
to have love. And that type of mentality sounds, sometimes a lot of people laugh when you say it. They think, oh, it's a bunch of hooey. But if you practice that philosophy with many other words and stuff, you notice that it does have an effect on your life.
Yeah.
So that's what we go over in the program.
Well, I think just not for love or romance, but it can help us in our daily life, right? Because we don't realize that our words have impact around us in our space, in our energy field, if you want to go down that realm. Because I know you talked about feng shui and, stuff like that. So it's truly amazing how the impact of our words have. And is there smidgen stuff about that in your free book as well about, no? Is that on a paid course on the Great Discovery or coming soon?
No, it's in the paid course on the Great Discovery.
What is the name of this course and the paid discovery for the paid?
Paid discovery is romance by choice.
So everything is just romance by choice. Do you have a title for your free ebook as a beginner?
Yes, that's, oh geez, why did it just slip my mind here?
It's okay. It comes back.
I think it's called Relationship Tips by the Coach for Romance.
Okay, cool. So you've mentioned quite a bit of different things in your tool belt. I would call it your tool belt to help us get better relationships. Is romance relationships, or can we use some of these tips that you're teaching us to just have better relations with people?
Well, in some respects, yes. Because relationships, man and woman love relationships, they're still people.
Correct.
So
do you have anything on, and I'm just asking because, unfortunately I haven't had the time to thoroughly read your book. So when you're in a business relationship as well with a woman, as your business associate, can you use the tips that you're giving and you would read it on the woman's point or from a guy's point? Or how would you read the book to make it apply for same relationship as well as, with a guy relationship? Does that make sense?
Well, there's some similarities and there are some groups. But I mean, the audio book is mainly about finding a romantic relationship.
Okay.
But things like learning how to communicate between men and women, that is everything in life. The problem is we are two separate species and we talk different languages because our brains function differently. And men don't understand women and women don't understand men. And that's why there are lots of conflicts that happen even in the business world, because we don't know how to communicate with each other to effectively get our points across or what we're asking for or what we need.
I guess I really better go read your book because my husband's always complaining that you misunderstood me. Well, why don't you speak it so I can understand it, right? That's my thinking. And then, we get into a little tuffle about it. And then, he's upset at me and I'm like, okay, I'm upset at you. And, by the end of the night, why are you upset, right? And then we kind of let it go and then something else pops up. And I guess it goes back to that whole thing. Gosh, but you have given me too much to think about now, because relationships are truly important in our lives because we have relationships every day with everybody. So any parting words to my guests before I wrap it up here?
I think we've covered a lot. I appreciate the opportunity and hope this helped.
Bill, thank you. Or as I like to always say at the end of my call, mahalo plenty. You are an honored guest. I will say it, nui loa. Thank you so much for your time and sharing awesome words of wisdom to myself, especially. And I hope you guys, my guest audience, catch what Bill has. And I will be putting a link in the description to Bill's free course. And if you want to get it, please do, because it's FREE, guys. And if you want more, you can get more from Bill on our platform. So again, mahalo, Bill, so much for your time. Have an awesome time, and I will definitely see you in our business world.
Thank you.
Thank you.